everyone, with the excitement of the mini cake, the cake mini coming out, I began to wonder if I wanted a cake. I didn't used to want one. I didn't really see the need for it, even though I have made fondant cakes in the past for my son and did everything by hand. I didn't see the need for me personally, but then I saw the mini and I'm like, oh, well, that'll be a good size for a kitchen. And then I heard through scrapping with my bug that the regular size Cricut Cake was on a huge clearance at Michael's. So I went over to see if my Michael's had one, and they did. So I bought it, and it was like $140. Then I got the Cake Basics in the set with it, and then I bought another cartridge for $20, and then someone in a different state bought another cake cartridge for me for $20. So I just couldn't pass up the $20 cake cartridges. And then I got an extra set of mats for $5, and I got the Cricut Cake Toolkit for $11. So great deals on this stuff, 60% off, great deals. Okay, so I got this last week, and I just now took it out of the box. So it's been Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days. It sat in the box on my counter. But it's out of the box, and you know, even though I'm not a huge red fan, it is pretty. It's really pretty. Okay, so anyway, I've put the little blade in, and I just want to show you what the difference is on this blade. It's shorter, the housing is shorter, the blade looks pretty much the same as the blade on the Expression, but the housing is shorter and there's no numbers around it. So I'm going to put that back in. Whoops. Want to pick that up for me? Today I have a little helper. He's going to reap the benefits of this cake. Okay, and then I have my little cartridge plug-in, and I'm guessing this is for when I don't have a cartridge in there, but we have a cartridge in there. So here's our little cartridge with this little skirt that came with it. It's just this little silicone skirt. So I just put it on the cartridge, and then I'm just going to snap the cartridge in and make sure this is laying down flat. So there's that. Comes with this already on top of it. So we just peel this up, put down our overlay. You can put your plug your gypsy into this too. We are not using a cake cartridge, we're using the Superman cartridge. So just a reminder, you can use any of the Cricut cartridges with this. And that's what we're going to do. So next we're going to get our mat ready. Okay, we have our mat greased up with some shortening. You can see it shine. You want it thick enough that you can see it, but you don't want a bunch of clumps of white. At least that's what the cake people told me at CHA. So at that point I didn't think I was getting one. So we're going to put our mat in. And this is just American slices. And we're going to go ahead and load our cheese. We're going to load our cheese. Okay, and it looks like it's at the right spot. So I'm going to try to cut something a little complicated. And I'm cutting it at 3.5 inches. And I think that I'm going to have to make that smaller because my cheese isn't that big. So I'm going to move the down size to 3 inches because it is 3 inches. So the dial, or the size dial's over here. The speed's over here. So this is my first time, so I'm not sure, and I have not watched a lot of videos because I didn't think I was going to get a cake. So I'm going to put my pressure on high and my speed on medium. We'll just try that and see what happens. Alright, so that's it. We're just going to cut the first one. If it messes up, well, we have another piece of cheese. I wanted to try it out on something not... Okay, it's too big. That's okay. Not so difficult. I thought cheese would be good. It's cutting it. And if I'm going to keep recording in here, I'm going to have to get some extra lighting. Okay, so it's too big, so I'm going to have to make it a little bit smaller. I think I just started it out. Okay, so let's try that again and we'll make it smaller. We'll do 2.5. Okay. Looks like it might stay on the cheese this time. let's do another design. I'm going to move down to this cheese just using the arrows. Okay. Okay, and we are going to cut, what should we cut, bud?
A cake.
A cake, yes. He doesn't want to mess with cheese. He wants to skip to cake. So this whole cutting cheese first is not his idea of fun. Okay, but we're going to start with that. Let's cut some planets. Yeah, let's cut planets. Okay, so let's unload our mat. We went a little bit off the cheese again. All right, let's see what we got. Here's our cheese pieces. I just peeled them off, and look how pretty that S came out. It looks like Superman. And then the other pieces, which my cheese, or the design went off the cheese a little bit, which are the planets, just on that one right side. And then my first S, which it went off the side just a little bit. So I'm gonna have to pull my gypsy out so that I make sure I know exactly how I'm cutting, or where I'm cutting. So that's it. That's cutting the cheese with the Cricut Cake, and that was my very, very first cut with anything in my machine. So it was that simple. I'm impressed, I have to say. So bud, you excited?
Mm-hmm.
What's so cool about it?
This and this and this.
What does it say?
Superman.
Yay, Superman cheese! Okay, you can eat it. Forgot to mention that the spatula came in handy. So did this little tiny spatula to take out the little pieces of the S. And the cheese was easier to work with when it was cold. And I think that's it. That was all the pointers. I just noticed, I just took the cheese out of the refrigerator, and I just noticed as it warmed up to room temperature, it did get more difficult to work with. So that is the only thing I really noticed. And that's it. Thanks for watching.